time for game number 2 here, Vega Squadron. Alright, ignore this indicator, they actually lost game number 1, so a misclick there on the admin's part. Effects actually up 1-0 in this best of 3 series, so now if they win this one too, then they're the ones who have to face up against Empire rather than Vega Squadron. We're fighting for the lives here in the MDL CIS Qualifiers. My name is Dragon Drop, joined by Mr. V.
Man, I don't know what it is, but you have perfect timing. Get up, close the window. It's all pretty chill, and then, oh, I sit down. Dragon Drop's doing the intro. Perfect timing. Absolutely pristine. All right, what do we got here? We got Vega, Brewmaster AA out of the picture. Effect says no Senking, no Night Stalker. Effect may go back for something like Coddle here with the Night Stalker ban, but Vega will have that option first. But again, Coddle hasn't seen a whole lot of play right.
Yeah, it's Night Stalker ban just almost a default because vision itself is so important. It's not necessarily just a setup for Coddle. But Vega Squadron, they picked the first pick this time around, and they're gonna get themselves the Bane, one of the heroes that they got in. Yeah, last time they drafted it was against Gambit in Summit Qualifiers. Lost one match with it, but won another. So pretty solid hero these days. Very hard to just trade with early on. Sometimes if you get yourself the Mirana on top of that, you have the strong Nightmare to Arrow combo.
So I know we kind of questioned the Rubik pick first, but after watching King R play it last game,
yeah,
no questions asked.
That's certainly a very impressive performance there from him.
Now the question is, how do they want to respond to the Bane? Because Rubik is okay at like disrupting Bane's channeling ultimate if he has a Blink Dagger up, but in terms of taking off the Nightmare, do they want to go Abaddon? Do they not want to care and just maybe tank up? Lots of options here for Effect.
Yeah. Oh, can't really tell. Also, if you look at the last drafts, they've most recently been playing nothing but Captain's Draft. That's the only thing on record on Dota Buff right now, and that doesn't really tell us too much.
Yeah.
So, Spirit Break is a choice, so just gonna bring in some extra aggression for the early game, try and keep the Bane on the back foot. Look at Magi, alright. Okay.
This is gonna be brawly. This is gonna be great.
100%, yeah.
You're gonna have Spirit Breaker run at people, he's gonna get ignited, Bane's gonna sleep someone, and they're just gonna beat the shit out of each other. It's gonna be epic.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't really know how I feel about the Ogre Magi though, in terms of how he fits into the early game in particular. I mean, you know, he's kind of tanky, can kind of punch a little bit, but very easy to kites, generally speaking, and his spells aren't actually all that strong early on, and he's mostly, for most teams anyway, he's mostly a bloodloss machine.
Yeah.
So is that really enough out of your support hero?
I think it's just more so they don't want to show something like you're down a game. And I don't know why it shows that Vega won on top, right?
Just click on the admin, I think.
Yeah.
You have to manually click that still. I'm not 100% sure.
But I'm pretty sure Effect won that last game.
Yep.
So
10 seconds remaining.
but I think with Ogre here, the pick is also just kind of like a hiding pick. You have Bane Ogre. What does that reveal about your draft? And Effect go, well, they have Bane Ogre. Like the best thing that Effect can really do is kind of look into the bans coming out from Vega Squadron and think about how they may react to their own bans. So like banning out Beastmaster and Quap. Okay, so mobility, a little bit of lockdown there. But this AA Wyvern ban, I'm not sure what that really says about Vega Squadron's draft.
Yeah, I don't know. If you only draft a hero just to have this drafting advantage, like it's gonna have to be some sort of strategy still involved with that Ogre Magi, right? So it has to be some sort of heavy right clicker, be it a sniper or something like that, to come out against that. So that in itself is also information for effects to work off of. So they can get the Winter Wyvern, which in turn would be a good one up against this kind of right-click focus strat. So that kind of just confirms it for effect at this point.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
with the center band, it'd also be something like Terrorblade, where you don't want the illusions necessarily hitting the return aura.
Radiant team pick.
But effect is going to go and open things up with Magnus. I like this. I think it pairs really well with Spirit Breaker. If you can land RP and then charge kind of past the RP, and then like just skewer them back into that charge. It does pop them out of the skewer, if I remember correctly, if you hit people
remaining.
I think so, yeah.
with Spirit Breaker charge. But effect kind of leave things open now for themselves. Do they want to go for Juggernaut? Do they want to go for something like Ursa? Do they want to go for Lifestealer themselves? Like Spirit Breaker isn't that bad of a vessel as Vega.
Yeah, Phantom Assassin also comes to mind as one of the heroes that teams tend to go to a little bit more often these days. But also like how the Magnus pick denies it from Vega Squadron, in case they were thinking about this double buff strat. Like you put Empower and Bloodlust on anyone and they turn into a carry, regardless of what hero they are, essentially.
Yeah.
So instead they go back for the Vengeful Spirit. Very strong early game carry as well. And it also means that you need someone like a Shadow Fiend, someone like a Sniper out of the middle lane to later on benefit from that damage aura and take over that one role, essentially, that big damage dealer. Because Vengeful Spirit, as strong as she is, she doesn't particularly scale well on the late game on her own in most cases.
Yeah, I guess you could also pair it up with something like
10 seconds remaining.
Alacrity on Invoker, but that's kind of just going overboard. I think the reason for this Venge Pit is that they want kill potential in their safe lane. They want to be able to threaten the off lane so that Magnus can't be there.
Yep.
And how do you do that? Well, you've got an Ogre Sun, you got a Venge Sun, and you've got Bane Sleep. And Bane has a decent nuke as well on top of that with the Brain Sap. By picking Viper here, Vega kind of say, okay, we can just leave Viper in the mid versus whatever. And our Ogre, Bane duo are just going to go kill whoever else they want to on the map.
Remaining.
Huh.
5 seconds remaining.
Not sure how I feel about this one. I mean, it's sort of kind around the Phantom Assassin as well, but she still has the Blink Strike. It's like with the Bloodlust, with the extra damage aura, maybe Viper can be this big right clicker, but only if he's playing from ahead. So it's a bit of a risk involved there. Makes me also think that they want to pick up an offlaner that can just bolster that front a little bit more even. So it's not going to be something completely completely utility focused like Underlord or Tidehunter or something. I feel like they need something like a Legion Commander, Windrunner perhaps. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking about like how their front line looks in these fights from Vega's perspective, and I felt it's a bit lacking. X does a fairly good job building up the Blade Mail and with the just bonus armor from Call that he'll be able to manage okay, but he's going to be vulnerable to those Spirit Breaker ganks, especially with Phantom Assassin having kill potential. The question is whether Rubik can keep him off the wave early on.
5 seconds remaining.
I can see that working out. And Vega Squadron, with that, it becomes very clear that they're looking for some sort of mid-game strat where they want to win the game by 30-35 minutes before Effect can really get going. But they turn around and say, hey, can feel we can get away with the Tinker here, and if nothing else, if he gets to a point where you have Boots of Travel, Blink, he can delay the game very, very much indeed, and that points to Doyle and Magnus should also have a Blink Dagger, which is always a threat when you want to go high ground. I do like Effect's draft here against what Vega has, but it's going to come down to how the landing stage goes, I think.
Neither way, both teams fighting for survival here. Going on to game. Actually, no. Effect is up. Vega hasn't won yet. Vega is fighting for survival.
Yep.
Even though it says they're up one.
Right.
I agree with you. Effect, definitely. Got a good draft. I think Spirit Breaker is just going to have a fun time running around. Sodoy's going to have a hard time in the off lane, but I think they can do it.
Yep. I think a lot comes down to what Zayat and Slayer can do on the support combination and when Afterlife gets his blink. I think those are the biggest question marks right now for Vega. We'll see. Both making their way out across the map. Smokes on somebody, one would think.
Yeah, Madden's got one on the Spirit Breaker.
Not on Vega though.
That is correct.
Uncharacteristic for this patch. And well, they should still be fine if they don't split up too much. That is lines being drawn.
Look at this smoke.
Just something here if they somehow get a whiff of Zayats. Actually walking back to link up, realizing, hey, effects, well, they've been doing these 5-man rotations, better be a bit careful about where we go, so just linking up with the rest of his team.
Afterlife just walks up the hill, doesn't see anyone, goes, so.
Fairly standard stuff here.
The question is whether or not they'll feel comfortable to walk up the hill again.
Axe, he'll be fine. And he has help. 2 for 2 bounty rune exchange. The question I have is whether... Oh, okay, never mind. Alpha Ninja gets one, Nico Baby the other. Sometimes what you see teams do is just have someone else block out the mid lane, and then the mid hero just gets both of these runes because they're so close together, and then still have enough time to TP to the mid lane. And not miss out on CS. That's Alpha Ninja is getting the one before the TP so he can block himself.
What is Axe doing? Is he gonna... Is Finch gonna TP bottom, or what are they thinking here?
I can tell you. Of going on Alpha Ninja for now, but Martin with the shot from below Grant. He's the one who's gonna take a lot of damage. He shouldn't really die here as the Ogre. But he also cannot continue aggression of his own. He'd be down to the bottom lane. Zayats, he just doesn't want to let that experience go to waste, but the Rio, he's just taking a long walk, not opting to throw out the TP himself, and I'm not sure if they expect more lane rotations now. So do you then have that TP to match Nico Baby?
Yeah, I think that's what he's thinking. He wants to hold on to his teleport. Unless they're running a Bane carry here.
Unlikely. Well, we have that 1v1 matchup up in the top lane, Sodoy up against the Axe. Not something that you necessarily want to run a Phantom Assassin against, so I think this still works out well for effect. But yeah, never mind. Feel more comfortable here without having to deal with the Bane as well as the Venge. But yeah, that is TPs coming out. Yep. That's exactly what they were thinking. Musical lanes once again.
It's surprising how much these teams will invest to just try to get the lanes that they want. Oh,
in the first TP is free, right? Gets lifted back here. Sodoy is there. He just also have that skewer, and he gets the bounty rune at least, but might be able to deny himself to creeps. But never mind. King R once again, starting game number 2 like he ended game number 1 on fire. King R securing the first blood. Maybe wrapping around mid. G at this point, 2 points off in corrosive skin. Gets a lot harder to bring him down though, but maybe you can find the courier. Well, 30 seconds left until it turns into flying, and the ace. It's the perfect timing. Especially with the illusion rune, it's just one salvo and lift back on G. Being nuked a little bit here by Alpha Ninja, sleeping taken off by King R. But still plenty of time for G to get out and get the salve off. Even has another one in his inventory, so he's expecting to take a lot of punishment in this lane. Meanwhile up top, the charge coming through on the Aurelio. Level 1 Spirit Breaker, so no extra bashes attached to that. On Martin even, yeah. Spirit Breaker.
Meanwhile bottom, Afterlife may get a kill on Sodoy. Gets lucky with the spins.
He spins 1, 2, another one. Range creep still attacking. Not enough. He's trying to get that Battle Hunger off. for the south. The Doi gets it off here with the looking through the vision on the trees. Meanwhile up top though, Nico baby taking quite a bit of damage here with Slayer, Zayats, and Ryu running him down. There's the bash. He also gets a salvo. The sleep down the Spirit Breaker, but Nico baby's absolutely fine. Gets pretty much the full heal of it. Now Zayats, he's in trouble himself. There's another charge available. Probably he's gonna get another bash in a couple of seconds too. There it is. And Nico baby, well, minus armor again. Martin, alright, of course, King R, he's the one to steal the kill again. The lift, another bash here, bringing up the front.
I wonder who's going
Double kill for him. The stun coming through, the need to body block up Slayer, and there's another self. He can't even cancel it here with the bashes, with all of this pressure from effect supports. Slayer, another one! It's unreal, honestly. This is unreal.
No.
Martin setting them up, King R knocking them down. 3-0 and 1 on his Rurik. And the Ryu, he's alone, he's trying to help, but he's alone against his 3 heroes now. Lifted up, back towards the front. Goes down a stun on one, but well, there's another bash! 17% PogChamp. The creep's blocking him up a little bit, so Ryu might actually be able to make his way through there. Martin, well, there's the interception. Quick enough regardless, Zayats. Alright, he won't get bashed up just yet. There's another charge though, so if he goes too far forward, Martin will just turn around immediately. What a series of events here up top. Yeah, it's gonna have to be. Like, this is not really what you expect out of any sort of bench trialing, but again, maybe it's that that weakness of the Ogre that doesn't actually provide all that much this early on in the game.
Yeah, he definitely is dependent on having a lot of mana and they have a lot of regen as they have the charge coming in mid onto G. Will they be able to connect here though?
He's already used 2 points up in the March machines rather than the missiles. Gets stunned up here. Martin, he's the one taking quite a bit of damage. Often not even throwing out a March and trying to dissuade him from it, so just gonna give that one over. This time in good position here to get that turnaround kill.
Yeah, I think FNNJ just realized, hey, it's more valuable for him to hold on to the mana for another laser for CS or for zoning G.
Top lane. Go baby, going in deep here onto Zayas, slowed down though by that magic missile. Didn't that spam King R's there? Bit of a drag back. Another missile available here, slowed down, and there's the bash coming through. Oh, the nightmare! It eats up the stun though, so a bit of a miscommunication perhaps here between Zayas and Aurelio.
Yeah, I think, like, if you're the Venge in that situation, you don't trust that sleep to necessarily save you, so you're throwing that stun.
Yeah. Well, still, just another one of these things where it's not really quite going as well as you would want to, even though you dodged that particular gank. Still continuing with this tri lane though, and the pressure has to be real, right? If you go aggro try and you're not the ones who are getting kills, then you're losing out on so much. Because bottom lane, well, Afterlife is doing well. He's level 7 towards the Doy's level 6.
Dire's bottom tower is under
He needs to help his lane. He recognizes that this aggressive try isn't working, so he's like, okay, we gotta get something going on here.
Ripping on Nico baby. He's actually left to his own devices right now. So yeah, into the dunk, stick shot is not enough to prevent that.
Kill secured.
Yep.
Chop, chop, chop.
Dire's top tower is
Power hero commitment to make that happen though. King coming in to clean up. I don't think even he can fight 4 people at once.
Not yet. In a bit. Just wait and see.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
He left alone mid, Afan and Jay out of mana, can force back. He still ways away from that booster shell, but does have the soldering to work with. Boy, matching that rotation up top. He's level 7 now, but no point on the RP just yet. They're going, hey, without the Blink Dagger, unlikely they can get that off anyway.
Yeah. Not in a beneficial way for his team.
Right, Vega getting out there now. Martin does have a charge coming off cooldown now. They want to go on Axe. With a little bit of extra control, he does get the call off, so extra armor to work with. Sedoi looking to try and find an angle for a skewer back, but quite fast enough, so Afterlife will be just fine.
He missed the shockwave there.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
All that space for Alpha Ninja at least. The stinker. What's Vega's solution for this Tinker last pick?
Keep him. It's not even close to his boots to try it. He'll go back for bottle, it appears like, but Viper's been doing a good job. Can they follow up with this Nightmare? But a charge is coming through.
Going through and say, yeah, at the same time, bit of a skirmish up top. They get the lift up on the Yoga Magi. Charge will connect here. They do have the March quite in the best position, so Zance will be able to walk out of it, man. Taking some damage from
He
Jay.
is done.
He will fall. So Effects not quite making that work. Top lane that also didn't turn into a kill.
Mm-hmm.
So Vega Squadron stabilizing a little bit. They are ahead in terms of net worth. Only slightly here because of that axe as well as the success of the Viper. So they have that to fall back on. Even with the Vanguard first, Afterlife should still be able to get a decently timed Blink Dagger off of that.
And
now King R. Bit of trouble here. Drags back Afterlife. Slowed down a little bit by that by the Ignite, so he can get the call off. No spins, but the dunk is in range. Tower also super low from the push earlier.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
Yeah. 1400 goals, 1500 after the creep wave. Now only like 600-700 gold away from the blink.
You know, I thought this Venge wasn't doing very good, but then if you look at the PA as well, PA is also quite far behind. Like, yes, she'll have the Magnus and power to help her farm, but she needs an item or two to at least get that farm off the ground.
He's level 6 now, so makes things a little bit easier. When it comes to just static laning stage where you just end up throwing up daggers and get that super value out of the harass.
Yeah.
But with the tier 1 tower down, it also means that you have some more space in that lane anyway.
Sleep on Spirit Breaker, but I don't think anything's going to become of it.
We're coming in now. Does have the AP, skilled up. But they will extend into that heal. You'll be able to counterplay.
X is getting close to his Blink Dagger.
Yep.
This will really start to threaten Phantom Assassin on the map once this Blink is up.
Being also level 6 though, Nightmare Stone. Perhaps not the best because I'm not sure if he can actually attack through the Nightmare himself, like the Bane can.
I don't believe so. I think that's just the Bane.
Depends on how it's coded, whether it's part of the Nightmare spell.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it just something inherent to the hero. And that would also mean that if Rubik casts Nightmare on an ally to just save them, then Bane would also be able to click through that without taking it away.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's attached to the hero, but I'm not sure if it'll be meaningful in either way.
Let us trample them together, Spirit Breaker.
One of these weird interactions that you have to see it until to know how it actually works out.
Mm-hmm.
But now the smoke up, they're looking for Vengeful Spirit. It's on a high ground, so they're gonna go for the wraparound play, Martin. Alright, alright. Wasn't looking at his camera for a moment. So Aurelio, well, stunned up, but the bash is there. Nico Baby comes through with the extra help. He wants to kill himself and he gets it too. Big old crit. Disillusion, bit annoying. Doesn't really do too much at this stage. Even up top. Afterlife shows off the Blink Dagger himself, and that is gonna be a really big kill for the Tinker here. Still 1200 gold away from the Blue Up. He is up, he gets both of them. Afterninja is still alive. They burst down the Bane. Now the feeds go stolen from King R. Then finish up Afterlife. Excellent counterplay here.
And with that tower up, G isn't able to get through it to help out his team there. Just diving a little bit too deep in from the Axe and Bane. And by a little, I mean a lot.
King R gets stunned up, but again, it's still too far away. Yeah, especially getting the kill on the Axe, so important. He's way ahead in terms of net worth.
Yeah, him and Viper really setting the pace as King R throws Viper over the cliff. Casual plays by the Rubik.
They are. Low down by Nico Baby here. Doesn't quite get a few crits to charge. Still channeled up, but he decides otherwise. Have taken quite... Yeah, it took too long to just connect all the way back from base, so Vega had plenty of time to just set up for defense. That particular hero. Alright. G's still doing well. Vengeful Spirit, despite everything, still ahead of the Phantom Assassin in terms of net worth, especially after the tower last hit. Vega, they still have the tools. They still have the capacity to just hit the timing that they're looking for.
Yeah, they really need F and Ninja to get off the ground, though. He needs these boots of travel and Blink Dagger.
Yep.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, you can Blink Dagger. Get it on the Magnus. Follow up with a couple of stuns. Stacking it a bit, so it does get the skill back. Pin scope on the Rubik. He'll be the casualty instead. That's where Sage debated.
Kingar, okay. I guess if you feed script the Rubik, then he can't steal it from you.
That is true. Yeah. Tier 2 will fall with that Spell Vega squad and committing for it. They might lose tier 1 top eventually here. Oh. Go Baby helping out the creeps a little bit in that regard. But a TP in from Bane. Things got it out. They have an Observer Ward and man sticking around. Should be able to get that kill, especially with that extra bash, but also need a few crits here. Nico Baby not getting lucky. And now Afterlife for the spin on 2. There's the... Oh god, that was... not what they wanted. Was there a single crit in the middle of that?
I think there was one. And it was on Axe after he had the call, so it was armored up.
That's a Fields Batman right there. And now Vegas trying to Roche have a DD energy. No big minus armor to speak of, really. But plenty of tankiness. Plenty of damage here. From the I guess you have the Wave Tower. But also the Max Adventural's Aura being a big deal in this situation.
Now comes the Tinker Wars. Boots of Travel are super close to being done.
Yep.
Import the recipe.
Flying out right now. This is where the game really starts for Alpha Ninja. Kind of slow to get off the ground, but he's still vulnerable to just easy ganks. Waiting for them in the creep wave. Until he gets a Blink Dagger. Once he has that, it gets progressively harder for Vega to catch him out.
Yeah. He is super concerned about this axe, though.
This team working away at the bottom. Then a power buff up on the PA, but Nico Baby hasn't had a lot of time to farm. There's just been too much action. So he's still the highest farmer on his team. Look at 3 cores on the Radiant side. They're still just maintaining the top network slots. Especially with all these towers going down as well. Effects, do not feel comfortable fighting into that right now without the blink on Sador, but he has it up now. So eventually gonna have to respond to Vega Squadron because that's your last T2. They have a catapult with Bloodlust, which is pretty damn scary.
In addition, Venge is just coming to take this tower. I think if Venge were to go like a quick deso, then Vega could potentially threaten high ground here, but Venge is opting to go for that Shadow Blade build-up.
All a matter of time effects, just trying to bide their time really here. Try not to die. Waiting for an opportunity that Vega actually end up going high ground. Maybe even trying to contest the next Roshan, but that's not for a while. That Blink RP, that's really the deciding factor here. That's just the presence of that threat might be enough to keep Vega just away a little bit longer. The Mass Bash is coming through on Slayer. Gee, turn things around though, and there's Phantom Assassin. Alright, that's one hero down. Looking for more Afterlife, gonna get the dunk on the Martin, and now Nico Baby cannot fight up against G. Oh, the TV will be cancelled. Axe coming in with a call just in time. Double kill for Afterlife.
This guy got so much from his lane versus Magnus. It's really hard lane for Magnus already, facing up against an Axe. But Afterlife has definitely made the most of it, and he even played well in the puck, so he tried to carry last game, didn't work out. This game, he's still got that same resolve and wants to make sure his team.
The bane of not just Afro Ninja, but in particular Nico Baby, because of the Blade Mail too. Blink Call Blade Mail. Phantom Assassin crits you, just gonna straight up die. Lifesteal or no lifesteal. That's what the completed Mask Commanders now. Let him the CPAs go for sometimes just to buff up that attack speed a little bit beyond the Phantom Strike.
The issue is that if she's attacking Axe and he blade mails, her armor gets reduced by Mask of Madness, and blade mail returns damage type according to what's being hit, right?
Yep.
So, not exactly an ideal situation.
You don't want to fight Axe with that blink up P. Yeah, you want it for these kind of things. Charge coming through, looking for Viper, but it's only the Aegis that don't want to overcommit here. Go into an Axe thing, and they did the math. Actually, enough damage with that March ticking out. I won't say it's a free Aegis, but they had to use, they had to use RP for that.
Not a terrible cost to use your RP though to pop the Aegis.
Yep.
It also kind of frees up Tinker to be a little bit less afraid of like a Meg RP. Now Tinker's just more so concerned about the Axe. Do they have Dust? No.
It is not lasting for too much longer, but they don't want to stick around. They did already force a couple of TPs out here towards the shrine. Effects. All 5 of them here. They could take a fight probably if they realize that Vega Squadron a little bit more split up, but it's too risky at this point.
Alright, PAs. Got this in power. It looks to be a Sanj and Yasha build-up, which I think is very, very interesting. I guess you could go for like... Oh.
What?
What?
Not sure what he was doing there.
Axe doing Axlings.
Alright, he's gonna be back soon enough on level 7, which is a bad thing as well. It's 12 points to die, but let's get his skewer back to the high ground. RP still on cooldown for 20 seconds. But it doesn't look like Vega will be able to get a creep wave close to the T3 towers, even just with the March spam coming through from the Tinker. It's all down to Ninja. If he can stay alive, he can defend base, and he can also keep in many different ways, right? He can keep the pressure up on the side lanes.
Yeah.
And you can also spam the March, which at this point for Vega it's almost impossible to fight into. I do not believe they have a pipe or anything of the sort. Ogre, Slayer, he's slowly building into one, but it's not going to be there for a long while yet.
Yeah, once this Blank Dagger is up too, it's a lot harder to gank him, a lot harder to set up these kills, and Axe is thinking to himself, okay, how do I catch this Tinker?
Oh no, the courier. Nico Baby is sticking around maybe a little bit too long. Bane is there.
Fiend script.
Didn't have the vision here through night time, so Nico Baby is super, super lucky. Oh, he doesn't even have a TP scroll. He has to just run his tiny little ass all the way to the secret.
Oh, he's gonna run into the
running straight into Zayats. Nightmare into the Fiend Scope. He needs some extra help. Slayer's there. Follow-up control, a little bit of extra damage. Not sure if the two of them actually have enough though. TP through coming in from Afterlife. Yeah. But if those are some extra slows rather than the call, and now Alpha Ninja at the very least able to go down some marches. Actually off the mark. Not really a concern for Vega as they bring in more reinforcements. So they get the kill. Took them a while. And as I said, Vengeful Spirits fought out of guard as well, by the looks of it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
That's fairly okay for effect though, to trade your PA for Avenge, who's got about 2k net worth on her. It's not ideal, but...
Pardon, got 500 gold for their kill though, and that's without a killing spree, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Just what happens when a 2.6k net worth hero kills a 10k net worth hero, I guess. Nope. They call, they find him. Good guy still.
Not so fast.
Alright. Alpha Ninja needed back home. He actually misses this march on the creep wave, so that's a bit annoying.
I wouldn't be surprised if Vega think they can go high ground soon. Even without the Aegis.
Prepping the wards here. They want to find a blink from Afterlife. He's eating through some of these trees. And if Effect is watching out for that, maybe they figure out what's going on. Alpha Ninja is not even defending, he's just going down some more marches in the side lanes.
Look at this Viper range.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Plus 100 attack range. Another extra range here from the Hurricane Pike, so plus 240 in total. So obnoxious, actually. Can battle through back though.
River ward. Where's the ward that sees this? Like, they need to get rid of this ward.
Yeah.
They see it.
But they're very afraid of the Axis. They know that he's just waiting for someone to get close. And there it is! YP on 4 heroes with the Empower! They get the crits! They get the damage! Vega! What have you done? Oh my god!
Sidoi God. That
was... Alright.
That was unconsensual slaughter.
Yeah, I'm not normally one to be like that, but when you're playing against a Max on the high ground siege, there's no way you should be grouping up to allow this to happen. 2 heroes? Yeah, 3 heroes if you're unlucky, okay. But 4 heroes? Vega Squadron, it's the moment of not being careful and they get punished ultra hard for it. Nightmare in the back here. Roshan, well, looks like they can. Couple blinks in here from Afterlife. Gets lifted up immediately by King R. Still gets a call off the charge to control him up further through the Blade Mill. Afterlife will fall. Nico Baby on a killing spree. They have Aegis. They have Cheese. They brought down that net worth lead from Vega. It was a 10k before this. In the blink of an eye, down to just under 3k.
Insane. Absolutely huge plays coming from Stoyt. Like, they were in a really tough spot there too, because Tinker was struggling to keep the waves pushed out. Like, that wasn't necessarily that FNJ was misplaying it or at all. It's just kind of the reality of Viper hitting your tier 3 tower with a Hurricane and 100 attack range talent.
Yeah.
There's not much you can do there.
Oh man.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They really need to get down these tier 1 towers though from the side of Effect.
Oh yeah.
Without those towers, they can't really swoop up and look to invade the jungle.
That is true. The map control is still very much in favor of Vega in that regard. So probably the better idea to go for Aegis as the objectives. With that in hand, they should be able to accomplish that goal now. So kind of turns into free gold, free money for Effect to try and shore up that gold deficit a little bit more, bring it back towards the 0 line. Shadowblade and Magnus as well. Sanjin completed on the Phantom Assassin and the Death Blade as well.
Just a straight up Deso.
Yeah.
This is a big power spike for EA. She does lose her wand. I'm not sure if I would have sold her wand. Like, maybe just throw it in your backpack, because you're going to lose both the Aegis and Cheese eventually.
It's a slot efficiency. God damn it. Alright, they're all smoked up here. They want to try and find something. FNJ was steeping in, doing his things. And Afterlife, well, that's a good one. Still very well farmed, but not farmed enough to withstand that kind of punishment. What was the damage there from Nico Baby? It's 1,171. Like 2 lark takes or something.
Yeah. That Blink Strike giving you those 4 max attacks. Nico Baby is feeling very confident here, especially with this Aegis.
Oh, catch Tinker though. Nightmare. Follow-up stun here. They also have the Fiend Script. Don't even need it. Anti-Tinker was. That's what they're used for. That's a good one. But the rest of Effect are even smoked up. They want some revenge anyway. Empower to Nico Baby. Just very fresh. Stun up onto
She
PA.
is here.
1, 2, 3. Where's the crits here? The charge on 2. Controlling them up a little bit further. G trying to do what he can. They really need the axe to control up these heroes. Now they are P. Only to G. Just trying to control them up. That's the Aegis down. He still has the cheese. Now Axe coming back. The Fiend Scrub finally coming through. Onto the Rubik here. So they're being right-clicked down by the Viper. Now it's Effect's time. Effect's turn to overextend. They just die one by one. Can't really get the damage out on anybody in particular.
Yeah, like, I think Effect there, they got really anxious and really pressured into fighting with their Tinker being down. They're like, oh, Axe is down, we need to go now. But in reality, they could just wait for Tinker to respawn before taking the next fight. It just lasts for 5 minutes. They had another 2 minutes on it at least. Why not just take mid-tier 2 and then back out? But yeah, I'm really Really think that they need to reset, take it slow. And yeah, now P is missing an item slot.
Well,
Aegis is gone.
alright, I still have to recover from that up here though. That was super quick. But yeah. Rubik holding on to the Fiend Script at least. There's a charge coming up top. So Afterlife, is he not careful? Straight dying of that.
I would assume
Alpha
Rubik just blinks forward and Fiend scripts immediately.
Oh, yeah. Blink Fiend Script, Alpha Ninja is there, can blink after him to destroy those spells. Afterlife doesn't have the blink off cooldown, so they're getting out. There it is. And another round. There we go. You just slammed the Blade Mail button, right? I mean, King R with the instant cast and telekinesis still got it off here in that fraction of a second.
And King R is just... he plays so well with this hero. Like, he makes do with what he has. He also steals kills left, right, and center. But hey, all power to the guy.
Well, only 4 kills, but 13 assists, so... that math still coming up in favor of the rest of the Vex team. Again, they're pinging OG, they see him.
He's got a
Boy can go for the blink
though.
skewer back. Well, BKB even uses it just as the crits hit. Now the full control of the CIS. They get a 2-for-1 special.
That's second BKB. Quality usage.
Alright, Nico Babe also with DD rune. This is actually ridiculous. Did go for the extra 20% cleave, so you have like what, 80% with the... oh wait, 70% with your power.
Yeah.
Then get a Battle Fury. You cleave for more damage than you hit for. Just
Exactly.
get a tier 2 tower, charge up top. They want to finally clear through some of these objectives, get some more money on the supports. Especially Martin, like the Spirit Breaker. Buying some cost-effective items though. I mean, does have this ultimate out of Courage and of Shadows. Who wants a Solar Crest now?
How do you feel about this Venge pick right now? Like, she has a BKB on the courier. Feel like it's going to be that impactful versus a Phantom Assassin? Like, normally I think you're playing versus PA, you need armor and you need evasion to force her to go MKB.
This should make my life
Yeah, I mean, you have the armor on Venge. But you need that MKB
good call.
yourself eventually. Okay, yeah. I'll get chopped down. He's still in a decent spot from Networth, and together with Viper, I mean, at this point, it is the combination of these two heroes. If they get to right-click, when both of them are alive, they'll be absolutely fine. Just because Vengeance Aura buffs Viper's damage output as well. Beyond that, it's
Vega
gets a
looking
little
for
tricky.
Rubik.
Nightmare for stun, yeah. You can always go for these kind of pickups. Hey. But Alpha Ninja. Have 10% spell lifesteal just from his passive. From his talent. Has the Kaya, has the Axe, so his damage output is through the roof already at this point. And as soon as he gets into these controlling items, he has a Scythe queued up right now. Then Effect have so much more room to maneuver and so much more ways to even outplay. And last couple of minutes, Effects, Vega Squadron have not been able to account for this particular aspect of Effect's draft.
Yeah, I think Effect, the reason why Tinker's not going Aghanims at this point is that he's seen the BKBs and he knows, hey, like, blinding multiple people is going to be super impactful, but if we can get the jump with a good PA, like crit or blink strike, and I follow that up with a Hex, we can just straight up potentially get a lane of racks off of a kill like that.
What about this charge here, going all the way in deep? Acidoid again! 3-man RP! The Nightmare tries to latest a little bit with a big crit here, bring down 2 heals very, very low. G has to pop the BKB just to walk away! The Fiend Script on Nico Baby, but now he sees G needs to find that W. The bash on the CIS will finish him off. G. Now no more BKB. Nico Baby can start with the daggers. Double kill for him. 4 heroes down in total. That charge just gave them a vision. It wasn't meant to initiate. It was meant for Acidoid to find the big RP. And that's exactly what happened. 4 heroes on the sidelines. Buyback available for G. There's still a vengeful spirit. The real you does not have a TP off cooldown. He has to make his way on foot back to base, and then he even has to heal up on mana, so he's not exactly ready to fight. Rebirth coming soon. They will lose at the very least a tier 3 tower here, and if they want to keep a hold of the racks, they need a bit of a miracle. 20 seconds for the axe.
Yeah, especially with Tinker being able to throw down the Martian machines. They will not want to walk into this. Nico Baby.
Dump that out.
I think he wants to go for the actual buildings here.
That's late also helping out in this regard.
Yeah.
Not taking too many chances here. Axis respawning, they got the melees. Effects. Again, do not be fooled by this indicator up top. That's actually been a misclick by the admin or something.
Yep.
Vega Squadron is not 1 game up, they're 1 game behind. So if Effect win this one, they knock them out of MDL CIS.
PA still has that cheese from that second Roshan. Who should be respawning shortly. Let's have a look here.
Minute 50 seconds.
Yep.
That'll be with the refresher shot, so double RP is a potential here if Effect can secure that for themselves. Vega Squadron. No really big thing though. Right? I mean, I guess refreshing
maybe.
BKBs.
But yeah, I would say
refresh
Axe.
BKBs on Viper or
Yeah.
just double call on Axe. Oh no, not again! There's the crits, there's the damage, the bash controlling up everybody as well. Alright, alright. I can't even blame them right now.
Wow.
Once
Well played,
Alright.
Sadoy.
Once is alright, 2 is what's it saying? 1 is a
Only once.
coincidence.
Yeah.
2 is an accident. 3 is a pattern.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. It's been a while since I've seen a Magnus win a game in this fashion with 4-man RPs. 3, I think the second one was a 3-man RP, but still close enough. 2 4-man RPs, 1 3-man, just to close us out for Effect. And yeah, as we're just saying, Vega Squadron knocked out of the MDL CIS qualifiers.
Yeah, just like that. And it's crazy to think that they were in an advantageous position. They had like essentially all map control. They go for that 1 push, and Effect was terrified. They didn't even like deward that high ground ward that they had a Sentry Vision on. And then what happens? So it's like, oh, 4 of them are together. Here we go. Boom. And he just followed that up again and again. Those huge RPs, and all the power to them. Great play by them. They deserve to move forward.
Exceptionally well played here. With the draft as well, just setting themselves up for that. I'm not a fan of Vega's draft in game number 1, I believe. This one as well. They didn't really have a lot of options beyond what they drafted for, right? You depended on Afterlife to carry. You depended on this early aggressive team to just win teamfight after teamfight and then just bully down towers. But Effect, again, with the last pick Tinker. After NJ did take a while to get off the ground, but by the time he did have the boots of travel, it was so hard for Vega to actually find the openings there. Because if they wanted to commit for something, they'd have to commit into March spam, or alternatively, Alpha Ninja would be on the other side, threatening towers.
Yeah, I think Alpha Ninja he played safe enough, and then he just waited for his team to provide him with opportunity. In games like that, sometimes you need someone to step up, and in that game, that was Sadoy. I honestly cannot also fail to mention the fact that there was a King R Rubik that played very well in game 1 and almost as good, definitely, in game number 2. They made so many plays together, so really well done by Effect. I hope to see. I really like to see this team synergy continue onward in this tourney. Or Paul.
We will have a chance at that because no, I do not want to play right now, Neff. Because they're up against Na'Vi, right now. So we're gonna try and get that game going as soon as possible. And the winner of that will move up against Empire. Still plenty of games left to be played here. Effect, if they can carry this momentum against Na'Vi, then we should have another great series at our hands today. So do stick around, tell your friends. Now we're gonna take a short break.